On Saturday in Indianapolis, I was going to a big basketball game. Doesn't matter who was playing because we lost. More importantly, though, I had some business to attend to first. I had agreed to give an interview to a high school student in Paris. Huh? Stay with me. Alia El Nasraoui had contacted me in early November requesting the interview as part of her senior project at her school, Lycée International d'Aliès Parisienne, located just outside the City of Lights. She told me her program, quote, allows her to study the regular French curriculum along with literature and history from another country. In my case, I'm in the American section, which means I have American literature and history classes, end quote. She wanted to talk to me about third spaces, a concept with which I was unfamiliar, but she explained it to me and its relevance to her in our email conversation. Third spaces, or third places, is a term created by sociologist Ray Oldenburg, describing the importance of informal public gathering places for a functioning civil society, democracy, and civic engagement. Alia wrote, quote, I chose this project after a local park where my friends and I used to go shut down due to low maintenance. I already knew that certain areas of life were neglected due to low governmental action. And I thought that surely, since individualism is the hegemonic ideology in the United States, the issue must be larger. It was cemented in my mind after I did some research on third spaces and how they impact crime rates, end quote. Yeah, I'd talk to just about anyone about this kind of thing. But what had inspired Alia, a teenager in France, to contact me? It turns out she came across a column I wrote in April of 2023 titled, quote, Hyper-individualism is the disease keeping us from addressing deadly gun violence, end quote. I wrote it in the days following a deadly school shooting in Nashville, Tennessee. I need to give her 3 interviews during her project over the next few months, and judging by the first one, I am certain it will be big fun. Several times during the scheduled 15-minute interview that went for nearly an hour, I stopped myself and asked her, do you know what I'm talking about? For example, when I was making an analogy of the public health crisis that our gun policies have caused with the absurd vaccine policies that are starting to take root, yes, she knew all about both. This impressed me about her, but then it saddened me to realize the depth of awareness the world has with America's current anti-science movement. Toward the end of the interview that ended around 7 p.m. local Paris time, she asked me what my solutions were to the destructive trends we both see. For a teacher and writer, that shouldn't have been a toughie, but it was. After a long pause and scrambling brainstorm, I told her that I think the only way to get through this moment and grow from it is for us to commit to learn from it. Brilliant, right? I told her we need to read the books people are trying to keep from us. We need to ask the hard questions that too many people fear asking. And we need to envision a world that doesn't just return to the way things were before this chaos began, but to seek one that will be far better. At least that's what I tried to say. We will meet again in February, and I will prepare for that interview with a bit more diligence. She has good questions, and she deserves well thought out answers. I'm glad she found me. She made me think. She gave me something worthwhile to occupy my brain and distract me from the beating my basketball team took a few hours later. And she made me wonder how amazing it is anytime anyone connects. The day before my interview with Alia, I gave a talk to a leadership group downtown on the value of connection and how to make them happen more often and more deeply. I needed a video recording of the presentation as part of a marketing package I'm working on in the spring. I couldn't find a videographer, and a friend told me to search for students in the field on LinkedIn. One search led me to one, who referred me to another, who connected me with Adina Moss, a recent graduate from IU's media school in Bloomington. 2 days later, Adina was wiring me up and working cameras in a crowded room while I tried to inspire young leaders with a talk I give fairly often. Adina is cool. She wants to be a comedy writer in Hollywood, and she plays the violin, piano, and even the saxophone. She grew up near my childhood home, and we have a lot in common. When the session was over, I was trying to help Adina pack up her gear, and I asked how she thought it went. She said, quote, it was a real treat watching you speak, end quote. Can you beat that? The video she's creating for me is far from done, but I'm glad she's the one doing it. How do people connect with each other? Sometimes it's as simple as taking a risk and saying yes. I'm glad I said yes to Alia. I'm glad Adina said yes to me. And the next time I'm in Paris on Saturday night, I hope it's in person.